What is up, savages? What's going on, guys? I don't see anybody in here yet, but that's okay because we're just going to get after it. I was still messing with yesterday's sumo coin. I could not get it to work yet, but I've been doing research and talking and looking in the chat on simplemining.net and all that stuff, and it seems like the problem that we're having, or that I'm having, is similar to a lot of people are having the same problem. I might have to go back to a previous version of Simple Mining or something like that. I don't know. Just haven't had a whole lot of time to mess with it. Prepping for this show and all the stuff, and I just haven't had time to really mess with it. So as soon as I do, I'll post. If I find a fix for it, I'll post that in the description of that video from yesterday. Some people were asking about my configuration, so I figured I would show you. I've got one AMD rig that I'm using here. It's here are the specs for that. It's got 9 580s and 2 570s. And then if we're doing an NVIDIA coin, specifically that we have to do on NVIDIA, this is the NVIDIA rig that I'm using. Just got 2 1070s, 2 1070 Ti's, and 2 1080s. So let's go ahead and generate our number, find out what we're mining tonight. I'm a little bit behind because I really want to get the one from last night done, but we basically have 2 through 132. The top line here is just the column headers, right? So we got 2 through 132 that we're going to be looking at tonight. I haven't found any more good ones yet, so this is all we got. So 2 through 132. Looks like we're going to be on 23. Let's give it a shot. Okay, Bytecoin. I've been kind of interested in that one. And we keep getting these kryptonite ones. Okay, well, let's do it. So we're going to go to Bitcoin Talk first. Look up Bytecoin. See if we can find a good thread on it. Probably that one, if I was to guess. Okay. We need to bring up our mining info template as well. So we're going to go with Bytecoin. Am I spelling that right? All right. Let's go all the way back to this one. Did this really come out in 2014? Maybe. I thought that it's gone through quite a bit of changes, right? Let's go to what to mine. And the coins. Probably the same thing. We'll just document the algorithm real quick. BCN. All right. Let's go to the website. Get a wallet. I might already have a wallet for this, I don't know. We'll use a web wallet since we are just doing this for tutorial purposes here. I probably have to sign up. I don't think I already have one. Oh, geez. Alright, I wonder what they're going to need. Let's not do that then. We'll just go and get desktop wallet. All we're trying to do is get a receiving address to mine to. We're just going through the motions of installing the wallet, getting it up and running so that we can get that receiving address. Copy that. Throw it in here. Alright, so now we need to get a pool. We'll leave that open. Let me know if you see a pool on here. Might not be on this. Well, I don't know, which pool do you think we should use? I'd like to use one that's just not real, doesn't take a lot. MinerGate might be all right. All I need is a pool address, you know. Is this one going to be difficult to do this quickly? Try a different one. This one looks pretty basic. No need to register. I like that for the purposes of the video here. Just super quick. And we're probably going to use XMR stack, I'm sure, since it's a kryptonite. Alright, so we've got a receiving address, we've got a wallet, we've got a receiving address, we know what algorithm it is, and we know what pool and port, and we know what miner. So now we're off to the races. Now we can go over here to simple mining, go to group config, add a group. Let's go with XMR stack. typically I pick the latest one, but there are cases where you really need to you need to do a little bit of research if that one doesn't work, because they'll tell you to go back, to the previous version of the miner. So you have to be careful with that. So this is BCN, Kryptonite, YouTube. Sounds good. Just copying and pasting so that we don't make any mistakes. Now, this always trips me up right here. The default currency is Monero, but I would assume that I need to put something else in there for Bytecoin, right? Anybody? Help me out with that. Let's see. Let's say down here. Really doesn't. Might be based on the port, possibly. Well, we'll give it a shot. See what happens here. Go to rig list, choose the AMD rig, BCN. I already have that miner loaded, so we'll just do a reload. And it's actually this rig right here, so you should see it restart back there. While it's restarting, I'll go over here and look. I want to make sure, see if there's any information over here as far as what you should put for currency. Probably should go to the miners page. See, the same thing was happening earlier. I might have some kind of weird problem here. Maybe it, because I had to update to the latest version of Simple Mining to fix another problem, but I might need to go back to fix this one, because this is the same symptom I was getting whenever I was doing the other Kryptonite, the Sumo coin. So I got something definitely going on here. I don't think it's overclocked because, man, I just don't have a lot in here. I mean, it was super basic overclock. Anybody that's watching, does something look weird there for Kryptonite? I mean, I was mining Loki right before this. I know that's that's Kryptonite heavy, I think, but See, it does start up and it does start mining, and it gets to hashing, and then it just errors out and restarts. XMR stack. All right, so let's try. Just throw it on the NVIDIA rig too. See what happens there. Yeah, I get these. This is the error that I was getting, that I looked up, and there was a lot of people getting this same one, but I didn't have time to find out the actual fix for it. It's a yeah, missed it. See, it says rig rebooting due to oh, this one says, oh yeah, too much overclock or undervolt. But I mean, maybe the undervolt, maybe because of the aggressive, maybe because that's on aggressive, because this is kind of new, a new feature. I don't know. Let's see if the NVIDIA rig comes up and doesn't error out like that. If it doesn't, then it could be that undervolt. See what happens. We will figure this out though, just maybe not in 30 minutes. Yeah, last night I had to, I had to re-image the, was that last night? That I re-imaged the Simple Mining USB drive? I don't remember. These days are running together now. But I really do look forward to this show. I think it's kind of cool. It's a cool idea. And I have to thank BrandonCoin and Jon Hartwig for the idea. I kind of stole it from him. It was briefly mentioned on BrandonCoin's show and his live stream, and then I started thinking about it. I'm like, yeah, it would be kind of cool if you take that, you know, do like a random, because he sort of did it on that particular show, but it ended up being the same thing that I kept running into. Like whenever you do a random out of 2,000 possibilities, it would take the whole show. It would take the whole 30 minutes just to get a coin, maybe find a coin, you know, that you could actually mine. So it's better to go with, you know, known good, but a huge list. You know, 132 is pretty. That's a pretty good list. It's not all of them, but still a pretty good list. So it looks like NVIDIA is not going to work either. Oh, maybe. I don't know. Let's see. I heard this thing rebooting, so maybe I got confused there, thinking that it wasn't going to work. It looks like this is the NVIDIA rig here. 4,400 hashes. As long as it doesn't reboot, I would call that good. It's only a 6 GPU rig. Probably squeeze a little bit more out of it, but just for the purpose of the show, it looks like we're successful in mining this. It's not rebooting or anything, so that's good. And I hope the sound and stuff on the video is better. I think I had my mic turned way high because I watched a little bit of the videos from earlier in the week, and it was like, wow, because it was like cutting out and stuff. It was so loud, so I turned all the levels down, and I think I got it pretty accurate, pretty good. So let me know in the comments below if the sound is good. The video should be good. I'm messing with the lights and stuff like that in here. I think it's good. So the NVIDIA rig is hashing away, not rebooting or anything, so that's good. AMD rig, not so much. So let's play with it for a minute and see. Sorry about that. Let's see if we can. See, I even went so far as to just knock all these down like really low earlier, and it was still not working. What's the standard undervolt? Maybe 900. We'll turn that off. I think this says power stage. Yeah, default safe is 6. Let's go with 4. Throw a reboot in here. I would love to get this figured out, because whatever is causing this is doing it for every kryptonite algorithm except for kryptonite heavy, because kryptonite heavy with Loki, I believe I'm right on that. That one, it doesn't have a problem. It'll mine it, and it doesn't do this rebooting stuff. So that's what I'm getting, the VM context protection fault status. And if you go to the chat, you know, for simple mining, there's a lot of people that have the same problem. But I was doing that right before this started, so I didn't have time to like investigate to really find out if there was like a fix for it or not, or what the fix was. I'm sure there's a fix for it, because otherwise people would be complaining pretty loudly about it. So all I did was knock the clocks down a little bit. Let's see what happens here. Earlier, because whatever problem it was, the pools that were on, I was trying it on, were banning me. You know, it's a temporary ban because I was throwing something at them that they didn't like. So, yeah, here we go again. See, it started to mine just fine, and then it throws this out there. So I have to do a little bit of homework and try to figure this out. I wish there were more people in here so that y'all could give me some little bit of advice here. Give me some recommendations. Let's put this to 6. And maybe we can go here and see if there's anybody else in here that I don't know if there's a way of searching just this thread. I'm sure there is. Bitcoin talk kind of drives me crazy, though. It's so old. I understand why they keep it around, because it was started by Satoshi himself, but still. Could use a little bit of updating, technology-wise. Yeah, it throws those errors pretty quick. You'll see it up here on the console in just a second. See, it attaches to the pool, it starts hashing, and then boom. I wonder if I got it. I don't know how to search in just this thread, though. Probably a way of doing it. That's not right. VM context 1, VM underscore context 1. Probably should just go to Google, I guess. Well, it sucks that we've only been really successful one time this whole week. This is harder than you think. You know, I mean, if you think about just picking a random coin and then going and trying to mine it within half an hour with a little bit of intro at the beginning and a little bit of outro at the end, it's tough. I thought it would be a little bit easier than this, but no. Let me do Alright, so that's kind of what we're seeing there, but that's, see, I had done this before, and these are from a really long time ago, so I don't know if it's still relevant. And these are 480s and 470s and stuff that they're talking about here. Without memory. Okay, so we'll go in here and change our overclock real quick. I know we got to go in like 3 minutes here. Can we put 0 in memory? Sure. We'll try it. Yeah, see, the NVIDIA rig's going fine. So that means that all the miner options are good because I'm using the same rig group for both of them. So yeah, it's interesting. Let's hit a reboot here, and then I'll let y'all go. I'm gonna go into Brandon's stream if he's gonna be up tonight. I hope he was feeling better. I know he was feeling super sick last night. Hopefully he's in and feeling better. All right. Hopefully it'll at least reboot before we have to disconnect here. Let me know in the comments below what you think of the show. I know it would be a lot better if it was a little bit more, if we had a higher rate of success here. But it's still fun. I think it's good to see, like, you run into these problems and things aren't as easy as some people make them look, you know, and they like to not help a lot. Like, you run into little obstacles where people aren't that willing to help, and I don't want to be one of those guys. I want to actually help the community because I think together we're stronger. I think that, you know, it's what the community actually needs. Instead of all this little bickering and fighting and stuff, I think it's kind of silly. So that's kind of why I wanted to do this show, so that we can, you know, help each other. That's kind of the goal here. All right, so it's rebooted, and the very first thing it comes up and it says AMD invalid result. So let me write that down because that's actually literally the first thing it says. AMD invalid result. And then it's going to fire up and it's probably going to hash for a minute and then it's going to reboot. So I've got two things to look up. I got to look up the Sumo coin thing and this thing. But that's it for tonight. It's 10 o'clock. We're going to go watch BrandonCoin. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see y'all tomorrow night. Same time, 9:30 Central, or I'm sorry, Eastern Standard Time, 9:30, right before Brandon's show. See y'all.